Welcome to the tutorial practice review for Chapter 2, Main Ideas 2.3. So again, a reminder for Chapter 2, Main Ideas is referring to the main reason or what the article or paragraph or grouping is about. So you'll also hear that the main idea is referred to as a topic sentence. So what's the topic sentence? There is a difference, again, between that and a topic. A topic has to deal with the main idea, yes, and topic sentence. Topic, it's usually repeated. It's the subject matter, the subject, and it's usually in one or two words. What you are talking about, what the main idea is. So along with that, in this grouping here, and you may see it in your homework as well, you're going to read these three groups. Now, it's similar to what you've seen in your textbook and in your notes, referring to an umbrella idea in a way where, again, you'll have one main idea and the two others are supporting details. And so that's what in this exercise you're going to be doing. So you look here. So we're going to look at the three in group one. We're going to look at the three sentences here. One of them is going to be the main idea, and the other two will be the supporting details for that main idea. And so the first bullet here says, through its life and death, a tree will serve a variety of important functions. The second one says, while alive, a tree provides food, nesting sites, shade, wind, protection, and concealment for wildlife. Third one, after a tree begins to die, stored nutrients are released, and it continues to provide protection and food for many forms of plant and animal life. So if we see here, the word that keeps reoccurring, if somebody asks you what the topic is, the topic is a tree. It is about trees. And so we have to look at here, because again, we see that the trees are mentioned quite in each of the bullets, in each of the sentences. So based off that, what is the main idea? What are they trying to say about trees? So if we look carefully through here, and we look through, again, if you look at the main idea is going to be the first bullet here. Through its life and death, a tree will serve a variety of important functions. And it's because, again, you have the variety of important functions. So it's telling us that in life and in death. So it's covering both, because if you look at the second bullet, while alive, a tree, so it's talking about life. While alive, a tree provides food. Okay, so it's telling while it's alive. And then after a tree begins to die, so life, this second bullet here is supporting detail 1, and supporting detail 2, death. So that is the main idea. All right, let's go to number 2 now. Group 2 says here, in cultures where most working people are thin and tanned from outdoor labor, being pale and overweight indicates wealth and high status. At some points in history, long fingernails for men and women demonstrated that, unlike common laborers, the person did not have to work with his or her hands. Third bullet, in different societies and stages of history, different physical attributes have indicated a person's status. So if we look at these three, again, it's having to deal with what came up was, in a way, status. So again, they mentioned status, and again, the fact that they're talking about status, what are they trying to say about status? So based on these, the third bullet here is the main idea. In different societies and stages of history, different physical attributes have indicated a person's status. And then you ask yourself, well, what are those statuses? Well, they talk about in cultures where most people, so they're talking about the thin and tanned, and then here they're talking about the long fingernails. So supporting detail 1, supporting detail 2. So again, you have to look at what's the overall basis. What is going to be able to apply to the supporting details, or can the supporting details support that main idea? So let's look at group 3. Certain behaviors are considered especially serious signs that a child may later engage in violent criminal acts. Cruelty to animals, such as beating or torturing pets, is often a sign of serious psychological problems in children. Children who show a fascination with setting fires have a strong tendency to later engage in violent criminal behavior. So again, we're talking about behavior. We know that, okay, and children. So what are they saying about behavior in children? And if we look here, well, this is talking about children, problems in children, but referring to cruelty in animals. And then talking about setting fires. So the main idea is going to be this one right here, this first one. Certain behaviors are considered especially serious signs that a child may later engage in violent criminal acts. And what are those? Well, cruelty to animals and fascination with setting fires. And those two supporting details support that main idea. Group 4. Adults seek out spicy or bitter foods to stimulate their smaller supply of taste buds. The difference in the sensitivity to flavors between children and adults lies in the taste buds, the tiny taste receptors that line the tongue. Young children's tongues are loaded with taste buds and are especially sensitive. Therefore, sour or spicy flavors seem too intense to them. So looking here, we know we're talking about flavors. We know we're talking about taste buds. And they do mention about adults and children. So the main idea here is going to be, and we have to make sure that it applies to the supporting details, is B, or second bullet. The difference in the sensitivity to flavors between children and adults lies in taste buds, the tiny taste receptors that line the tongue. So here they talk about adults in this supporting detail, and then in this one they talk about young children. So again, that meets both. And last but not least, question 5 here, group 5. It says, in Japan, you should not look at a person directly in the eye for more than a few seconds, which the Japanese considered rude. In Tibet, you should greet people by sticking out your tongue the same way as natives do. While traveling in different countries, there are some things to do and some things to avoid doing. In Greece, you should refrain from waving your hand to say goodbye because hand waving is regarded as an insult. So, again, one of these are a main idea, and the other 3 are supporting details. But if you look here at them, they're talking about different countries, Japan, Tibet, and Greece. There's only one that does not. And the main idea is going to be this third bullet here. While traveling in different countries, there are some things to do and some things to avoid doing. And so they explain that here in Japan, Tibet, and Greece. So again, this brings us to an end to the practice tutorial review for Chapter 2, Main Ideas, 1.3, or 2.3, my mistake. Again, looking at this, and you may get some questions like this in homework or in your exam, where they give you a group and you have to figure out what one is a main idea and the other are supporting details. So you have to, again, just pay careful attention to those items, because main idea has to be supported by the supporting details. They have to be able to, it has to be applicable. And so when reading, you have to make sure that you're reading carefully and that the support and all the details are in reference to that main idea. All right, so please keep an eye out for the practice tutorial review for supporting details 3.3 or 4.3. Thank you.